Bro, you gotta be kidding me! Really? Oh my gosh, man. Ugh, the Wings coming in there and stealing our guys. 1 year ago, we made this YouTube video here on the channel talking about Vancouver Canucks prospect Jacob Truscott, and how it was already announced at that time that he was not going to sign with the Vancouver Canucks. He was an NCAA guy, as you can see, University of Michigan player. And the scoop over here from last year was that Jacob Truscott will not sign with the Vancouver Canucks. And there was a debate as to whether or not that was due to as the video and the tweet in the video's thumbnail says, the musical chairs situation with the Vancouver Canucks and their decor. Christian Wolanin, Akito Hirose, Elias Pettersson, Kirill Kudryavtsev, lots of guys rotating around the Canucks organizational depth chart in the prospect system. And so it was a pretty reasonable deal for fans to go out there and say, hey, Jacob Truscott is this fifth-round guy the Canucks had back in 2020, and he was a guy that would inevitably find himself in the Canucks organization. He played for Team USA at the World Juniors, and you can see from the point production here, he was a very stable guy. No explosion of offense, but still a guy who is worth talking about because of his two-way qualities and his edge work. That's actually the first thing written about here. Truscott uses great edge work and mobility to find great passing options and exits from his own end of the ice. One can take solace in the fact that Truscott is a technically skilled passer who can thread the needle in all three zones. Even if he doesn't leverage that often enough to be an impact player, proof of concept exists. This is why, last year, we labeled Truscott as the next Alex Edler, and after he had spent 4 seasons with the University of Michigan Wolverines, it was a reasonably big deal that he would not come to Vancouver, and he would lose his eligibility as a Canucks prospect. He then spent a 5th year with the Wolverines, and he stayed in his relative point production range of 16 points in 36 games. He did not suit up for Vancouver. But now, after 5 years with the Wolverines, Jacob Truscott has signed with the Grand Rapids Griffins. Take a look at this. The Griffins signed forward Michigan defenseman Truscott to a 2-year AHL contract that will begin at the start of the 25-26 season. And if we go over to some of these replies, I mean, there isn't really much here. Loved seeing him at UMich. Can't wait to see how he brings his game and leadership to Grand Rapids. Let's see if the website has anything extra that we can look at here. There's a lot. Let's go out there and read this. The Grand Rapids Griffins on Sunday signed former University of Michigan defenseman Truscott to a 2-year AHL contract that'll begin in the 25-26 season. Truscott, the 144th overall pick in 2020 by the Canucks, recently finished his 5th season at Michigan with 16 points, 27 penalty minutes, and a -3 rating in 36 games, earning a spot on the Big Ten Honorable Mention All-Star team. The 23-year-old became a 2-time Big Ten champion as a Wolverine in 22-23 and served as a 2-time captain from 23 to 25. Was he the captain in 2025? Elite Prospect says he wasn't. If we go over here, is there a list on who was the captaincy? Oh, I guess there wasn't really. Huh. That's interesting. Maybe he was the captain after all. I'm not too sure. Let's just go back over here. He became the 9th multi-captain at the university and the first since Luke Glendening in 2010-2012. That's a really nice piece of trivia here. At Michigan from 2020 to 2025, the 6'1" D-man registered 70 points, 119 penalty minutes, and a +44 rating in 166 games. Prior to joining the college ranks, Truscott spent 2 seasons with the NTDP. In 2018-19 with the U17 NTDP, he had logged 17 points in 55 games before adding 8 points in 33 USHL games with the NTDP juniors. He graduated to the U18 team in 2020 and showed 21 points in 47 games in addition to 11 points in 19 games in the USHL. The Port Huron, Michigan native played his youth career with the Little Caesars U14 and U15 teams from 2016 to 2018, alongside current Griffin and Red Wing Carter Mazur. So there you go. There's already a link there. At the international level, Truscott competed for Team USA at the 2022 World Championship and recorded a +3 rating in 5 games. He had notched 1 assist and 4 penalty minutes in 5 games with Team USA in the 2019 U17 World Hockey Challenge. So, Truscott isn't really a guy with the flashiest point production, but it is worth noting his presence on Michigan and just where he was as a member of the team for 5 long seasons. Now, as a player who is signed on with the Grand Rapids Griffins, we have to make the distinction here. He's not signing with the Red Wings. He's signing with the Griffins. So he will be a player under contract with the AHL team for the next 2 seasons, 25-26, 26-27. But that does not mean he will have NHL eligibility. In order for that to happen, he would have needed to sign an NHL contract, which is possible. Like if he plays very well, lights out crazy good for the Griffins next season and the Wings need a call-up, they can sign him to a contract at that point and then just bring him up when that happens. But of course, for now, we are just looking at Truscott as a Grand Rapids Griffin. It does kind of sting a little bit, honestly, to see him go from Vancouver Canucks low-key prosperity to leaving and then just going back over to college and then signing with a different AHL team. Of course, I'm a Wings fan as well, so it's going to be nice to see Truscott form his game outside of the Vancouver organization and go over to an organization that I also cheer for. But ultimately, Truscott does have some pretty good qualities to his game. Two-way guy, stable guy, can move the puck up nicely, can score some points, but he is more so of a two-way guy to a T. It's why back in this time frame, we were like, hey, he's kind of like the next Alex Edler. You gotta remember, Edler also wasn't a super flashy, high-profile name when he was drafted by Vancouver. He wasn't a 5th-round guy, I'm pretty sure. I think Edler was 3rd round. Let's just verify that right here on the fly. But Jacob Truscott did display a good level of defensive acumen, and it's why, there you go, Edler's a 3rd-round guy. It's why Truscott was seen as somewhat of a meaningful departure from the Vancouver Canucks organization when he decided to leave. Now, ultimately, if he was kind of wary with the amount of other D-men that were suiting up in Abbotsford, then I could totally understand it from that point of view. All the other guys that are extras or extra call-ups, you could say, are making his job a little bit more difficult. And if I had to pin it down, I mean, I think about the Canucks D-core right now with, okay, after the trade, Marcus Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, Elias Pettersson, Derek Forbort. You've got some other guys in the AHL that are cooking. Kirill Kudryavtsev's looking good. Akito Hirose is also there. It would have been difficult for Jacob Truscott to put himself on a path to making the NHL. I'm not going to say that Detroit has a terrible D-core, but just by comparison, you can say that there are some extra spots up for grabs here. Who knows? Ultimately, though, if Jacob Truscott can form that two-way stable game, he could be a very good line mate for a pure offensive guy. I'm thinking Sandin Pellikka and Truscott together would be a really nice pairing in Grand Rapids, assuming that goes down anytime next year. But for now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this former Vancouver Canucks prospect, the next Alex Edler as we had dubbed, signing with the Grand Rapids Griffins after competing in a 5th season with the Michigan Wolverines in the NCAA. Oh yeah, he is from Michigan, so there's the hometown connection there. We didn't mention that the entire time in this video. Let me know in the comments all your opinions about this player heading over to the Griffins and the Red Wings organization. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.